Hey all, D-Book here. We're putting together the MyX Fitness Bike. We have it torn apart for shipping and traveling with it. I wouldn't move it a lot if I were you. It's a elaborate process, but there's gonna be somebody that wants to change out the handlebars, wants to do the seat, so I think it's good to record everything. So 99% of this bike I like better than the Peloton, and I've dealt with both for quite some time here. The pedals on the MyX Fitness Bike are actually a stronger, more durable pedal. And they have two features, right? I can use a regular athletic shoe with it and bike, which is great for a gym, right? Because not everybody has biking shoes. On the back, it has your most commonly found SPD pedals. There are some adjustability on the back of the binding. But these are the most common pedals found in the biking industry. Just these small little Shimano. Somebody was asking who makes these. Shimano, I think, is the company that developed the SPD pedal. Just a little teeny piece goes on the bottom of your shoe. It snaps right in, and again, you can adjust that based upon how much tension you want, how hard or easy you want to get in and out of your shoe. Now, Peloton, either because they're trying to be difficult or this is ultimately a better cycling shoe, I don't know. But the Peloton bike only comes with these pedals, which work for a look style binding, which may or may not be better connection for biking. So if you talk to a professional cyclist, they might say look bindings are the way to go. From my experience, SPD is everywhere, so you really don't need the hassle. So a lot of people end up having to buy the Peloton shoes, and you're gonna spend an extra $100 on these shoes, and every pair of Peloton shoes I've had aren't super uncomfortable, but they all say made in China, so they're just not a high quality shoe. If you go with the SPD pedal, which is more readily available, there's more shoe choices. Like I went out and spent $200 on these shoes, but these shoes are super comfortable. It works on my fitness bike, it works on my road bike, it works on my mountain bike. So I use these shoes quite a bit, and that's kind of why I have grips on it, so I can walk around. So for me, this pedal choice is poor with Peloton. Most times you'll see a Peloton in a gym or in a hotel. The first thing they'll do is remove these pedals because somebody that comes in without bike shoes can't use them. So I just had this problem when I was in New York. We stayed at a really nice hotel there that we're kind of like timeshare members of, St. Regis, New York City, right by Central Park. And I took my Peloton shoes with me because I knew they had a Peloton. But when I get there, they took these pedals off and they put these pedals on so that people without shoes can ride it. I'm like, well, that's great, but if I didn't know that, I would have brought the wrong bindings. And honestly, I didn't know that, but I happened to have these anyways because I thought, I didn't know which sort of binding I was going to be using. So from that aspect, I think MyX Fitness Bike is smarter to use the pedals that fit SPD bindings. Now, what I don't love is the connection type that they've used here. Yeah, and every one of these I've taken apart. There's like hairs already stuck in this pedal. But a typical pedal connection here is kind of like a reverse threaded pedal that goes right into your crankshaft. And that is not the case here. This pedal has an internal shaft that turns around, and you're gonna wanna adjust the tension of that internal shaft to make sure that it spins freely, but not too far apart where you're getting a lot of play in the pedal. That you can adjust when the pedal's on. There's this cover that's reverse threaded that hides that shaft from you. So if I want to put it back on, instead of going right tight, I've got to go left tight. And in the video I saw where I learned this, they're using snap pliers for like snap ring pliers. Here I've just got some needle nose pliers that fit on that, and that will allow you to close that cap off so that you don't get at the shaft. Now, if you're trying to put these pedals on or take these pedals off, you can see the back of that pedal does have a hex grip format to it. I believe that's still the 10mm hex that we used. I've only had to use two different hex sizes on this, and that's the 10mm. But to get this pedal off, like, it wasn't obvious for anybody that I've talked to about this. You see YouTube videos, everything, they were confused about how to do this. Again, you don't want all that extra hair in there. But that pedal goes on like this, and then basically you need to either hammer the pedal on or hammer the pedal off, depending on how, if you're taking it on or off. Now, if I want to hammer that off, I'm going to put the hex wrench on the back into that socket, hammer from the other side, which allows me to get that pedal off. But that's a nice tight fit. It's going to be solid. It's going to give you great pedaling while you're using it. But putting this on and off is not a simple, easy task, as with your traditional pedal, either SPD or loop bindings, which again is just a screw on to the crankshaft.